All right, y'all, we got another Michael Jackson video. I'm excited to check out with y'all, man. Very interesting. We got 10 things you didn't know about Michael Jackson. And to be honest with you, it really say we got 10 strange things you didn't know about Michael Jackson. I don't know how true these things are. I don't know what they are going to say. Let's get around to this. Let's see what we learn. And also if there's some truth to it. Let's see what they talk about up in this video, man. This should be interesting.
Michael Jackson gave the world everything. His music, his heart, his soul. But how much do we really know about the man behind the legend? Behind the stages,
behind the legend.
Behind the cameras. There was a quiet, complex, and deeply misunderstood human being. A man who lived with secrets, routines, and hidden struggles the public rarely got to see. In this video, we're going deep into Michael's private world. These are 10 personal stories, some touching, some strange, and some that might just surprise you, that reveal a whole new side of the king of pop. Stick around, because each one brings you closer to the real Michael Jackson.
So he said these are 10 personal stories. Okay, this is going to be interesting.
Begin. Number 10, the oxygen chamber lie he told the world. You've probably seen that famous photo.
Well,
Michael
no,
Jackson
I've never
lying-
seen this photo. He was real loud sleeping in the oxygen chamber. I never seen this photo before though. I didn't even know they had an oxygen chamber back then.
A futuristic glass box, like something out of a sci-fi movie. The media ran wild with it, claiming he was sleeping in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber to live for 150 years. Some even said he was trying to stay young forever. But here's the twist. He leaked that story himself. That's right. Michael staged the whole thing and tipped off the press on purpose. Why? To stir curiosity, fuel the myth, and take control of his own narrative. While most celebrities run from rumors, Michael created them. It wasn't about deception. It was about mystery. Michael understood better than anyone that when people don't know the truth, they lean in closer. And he used that power like a true mastermind of media. And if you thought that was strange, wait until you hear what happened to him during a commercial shoot that changed his life forever. Number 9, the RollsRoyce and Miss Universe plan. After filming The Wiz, Michael finally had some serious money in his hands. And what did he do with it? He didn't invest it. He didn't save it. He blew $80,000 on a RollsRoyce just so he could impress a girl. But not just any girl.
And he was young. When he made that movie, The Wiz, he was still really, really young. He probably was like 19 or 20. That sounds about right. Buying a RollsRoyce to impress a girl, that sounds about right. Especially if you got the money to at that age. Yeah, for sure. That's what we doing.
Janelle Penny,
Facts.
Miss Universe of 1977.
Wow.
Michael didn't even know how to drive. He bought the car before getting-
My boy bought a RollsRoyce and didn't even have his license or know how to drive. Yeah, he definitely bought that to impress the girl. He definitely bought that to impress a girl for sure.
His license. Why? Because he wanted to drive Janelle to the movie premiere in style. It wasn't about showing off. It was about that innocent, awkward, sweet kind of love. He was the biggest star on earth, but deep down, he was still a soft-spoken young man trying to win over a girl he liked. It's one of those forgotten stories that reminds you, behind the fame, behind the image, Michael was human. And yet, just a few years later, something happened that would change him forever, physically and emotionally. Number 8, the Pepsi accident that changed everything.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be just another commercial shoot. Lights, camera, music, then boom. In 1984, during the filming of a Pepsi ad, a pyrotechnic went off too early. Michael was standing right under it. His hair caught fire. Flames tore through his scalp. He suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns to his head and face, and everything changed.
You know the amazing part, as we just seen on video, the amazing part about this story, y'all, is that he was literally we just seen him. He was literally still dancing while the back of his head was on fire. He was still performing, still dancing. You talk about a true profession. That is a true professional right there. Because if I feel the slightest heat on me, hold on, it's too hot somewhere. The fuck, it's too hot. He just kept going. Like, they had to see it and go, oh no, Michael. They had to put it out. He kept on going. Even though his hair was on fire, he kept on performing. A different level of professional, man. A different level of entertainment, man. Like, Michael was really a myth for real.
After that. But here's what most people don't know. From that day forward, Michael wore wigs for the rest of his life.
Facts.
The damage was so severe.
I knew about that. I knew he
allegedly
wore wigs for the rest of his life after that. I knew about that part.
He had his hairline tattooed onto his scalp to cover the scars.
Yup.
The pain wasn't just physical, it was emotional, lasting, and deeply personal. This wasn't some vanity issue. It was a trauma that haunted him in silence. And while the world kept watching his every move, Michael quietly covered up one of the most painful chapters of his life. But his coping mechanisms didn't stop there. What he did inside Neverland next was even more revealing.
What?
Number 7. The mannequins he kept for company. Inside Neverland Ranch, past the arcade games and zoo animals, there was something most guests found unsettling. Life-size mannequins, dozens of them. Some were dressed like children. Some were posed as if they were talking or playing. They weren't for art. They weren't for style. They were for company. Michael placed them around his home because he didn't want to feel alone. And in a way, it worked. When the
Really?
crowds left and the cameras turned off, the
Wow,
mannequins
I
stayed.
never knew about this. I never knew about this right here.
Silent,
He
still,
had mannequins
comfort.
staying with him.
To the outside world, it looked creepy. But for Michael, it was survival. In a world where he couldn't trust many people, these figures couldn't hurt him, lie to him, or abandon him. They were a quiet solution to a loud, lonely life. But the most private space of all? That was a room no one was ever supposed to find.
Wow. Wait, so how they find out about it? Hold on. Commercial. How they find out about it then?
Number 6. The secret room he hid inside Neverland. Tucked away in the heart of Neverland was something few people ever knew about. A secret room, hidden behind locked doors and soundproof walls. It wasn't a studio. It wasn't a vault.
What?
It was a place to disappear. Whenever things became too much, when the pressure, the lawsuits, the headlines, or the loneliness closed in, Michael would go into this hidden room to be alone. Sometimes to cry, sometimes to pray, sometimes just to be in silence. This was his personal escape hatch from a world that never let him rest.
Wow.
He built a kingdom where kids could laugh, animals could roam, and dreams could breathe. But he still needed one place where even he could hide.
Right.
And the more public his life became, the more he clung to that quiet space. Because even in a mansion full of people, Michael Jackson was often alone. But what he did before he walked on stage, that's where his inner battle truly showed. Number 5, talking to himself in the mirror. Before every big show, while fans were screaming and lights were flashing, Michael would stand alone in front of a mirror.
Hey, what he said in that song? I'm talking about the man in the mirror. Hey, that's probably how he came up with that song for sure.
Talking to himself. He'd say things like, "You're the best. You're the greatest. They came to see you." He wasn't showing off. He was trying to believe it. Even as the biggest star on the planet, Michael battled deep insecurity. The world saw confidence, but behind the scenes, he had to hype himself up just to walk on stage. It was like a ritual, a way to remind himself he was still strong, still in control, still worthy of all that love. Because sometimes, the louder the cheers outside, the quieter you feel inside. But for Michael, love didn't just come from the stage. It came from people he never even met, yet meant the world to him. Number 4, he saved every fan gift and letter. Most celebrities glance at fan mail, then move on. But Michael, he kept everything. From handmade cards to stuffed animals, letters, drawings, and even tiny gifts. He saved thousands of them.
Wow.
Some were stored in warehouses, others in his personal spaces. Why? Because to Michael, his fans weren't just followers, they were family. He would quietly read their letters, often with tears in his eyes. Many nights when he felt misunderstood or alone, he turned to those messages for comfort. He once said, "My fans are the only people who really get me." While the world judged him, laughed at him, or betrayed
And
him,
it probably
his
helped.
fans-
It probably helped, with him with continuing to go, even though he didn't feel as secure or confident. It probably would help him, get his confidence back up. Just reading some of the letters and stuff.
stayed, and he never forgot that. But while he welcomed fan love, he grew more and more afraid of something else: people getting too close. He wore disguises to escape fame. Imagine being so famous you couldn't walk into a store, ride a bike, or just take a breath in public without being mobbed.
Man.
For Michael, that was daily life. And to escape it, he came up with a bold solution: disguises. He would put on fake beards, prosthetic noses, full costumes, even pose as a burn victim wrapped in bandages, just to go outside like a normal person. Sometimes he fooled people, sometimes he didn't. But it was never about tricking anyone. It was about trying to feel human again.
Yep.
He just wanted to walk down the street, order food, go shopping, do things regular people take for granted. But even with all the money and fame, he couldn't buy privacy. And that constant spotlight, it led to something even darker. Because soon, Michael didn't just hide his face. He started recording his own phone calls. Number 2, he recorded his phone calls out of fear.
Wait, what?
By the early 2000s, Michael wasn't just careful. He was paranoid. He believed people were using him, lying to him, or planning to betray him, even those closest to him. So he started doing something most people would never think of. He recorded his phone calls. Every conversation became evidence, a way to protect himself from backstabbers, lawsuits, or media twists. He trusted almost no one. Imagine living in a world where everyone...
Bro, at that, like, you can't trust no one. You just can't. He's too famous, he's too rich. Like, come on now. Can't.
Every friend, every deal, feels like a trap. That's what fame had done to him. It wasn't just stress, it was survival. Because when everyone wants a piece of you, sometimes your only defense is to press record. But the root of that fear goes even deeper, to something that shaped his whole life, something most people still don't fully understand. Number 1, he felt safer around children than adults. To the world, Michael Jackson was a global icon, but deep inside, he was still a child who never got to grow up.
Facts.
He often said he felt more comfortable around kids than adults, not because of the twisted rumors the media pushed, but because kids didn't judge, they didn't lie, they didn't try to use him.
Y'all gotta remember, Michael Jackson became famous at like 7 and 8 years old. He was already famous. So he didn't have a childhood.
He once said, "Adults are liars, kids are honest." Michael's childhood was stolen, filled with rehearsals, pressure, and pain. He never had sleepovers, birthday parties, or playdates.
Exactly.
So later in life, he tried to create the childhood he never had, surrounding himself with laughter, fun, and innocence. To him, children represented the love and honesty he was missing. A world without gossip, lawyers, or cameras. Just joy. It's a truth many misunderstood. But for those who really knew Michael, it was clear. He wasn't trying to escape reality. He was trying to heal. The man behind the myth. Michael Jackson wasn't just the king of pop. He was a man, flawed, brilliant, lonely, and endlessly misunderstood. Behind the stadiums and screaming fans was someone who just wanted to be loved for who he really was. Someone who built a magical world to escape the pain of reality. Someone who carried the weight of fame, trauma, and expectations every single day. These 10 truths don't change how we see him as an artist. They complete the picture. Because when you strip away the headlines, the noise, and the lies, you don't just find a superstar. You find a soul. If you made it this far, you're not just a fan. You're someone who truly wants to understand Michael.
Facts.
And that means everything. If this...
Facts. I definitely want to understand more and more. Of course, I'm a fan of Michael. Like, Michael the best. He's the GOAT. But, yeah, I love to hear these stories and try to understand and know more about Michael, man. Some of them I didn't know and some of them I did, you know. But y'all comment down below, what was the things y'all didn't know about Michael? And what was the things y'all did know? I'm sorry, excuse me. But comment down below the things you didn't know and the things you did know. So we can see like who knew more type-ish. You know, I want to see who knew more than the other. But hit the like button if you enjoy watching this with me, man. Subscribe to the channel if you're new so you don't miss no new video. Every time I drop a new video for y'all. And I'll see y'all in the next video.